Hi guys, it's Stephanie C. Harper, publisher of Career Magazine, and I wanted to talk with you guys briefly about having a statement of purpose for your book. Now, I belong to several writing groups, and so this video is actually targeted to the writing group, but I'm sure that there are many of you that will come across this video that have a book inside of you. Statistics say that 80% of people do, so I'm sure that one of you that come across this video will definitely benefit from this. But there was a question that was posted in one of the writing groups that I belong to yesterday by ZLS Publishing. And that question was, why should I buy your book? Now, there were many, many responses to the question, but in my opinion, and of course it's just my opinion, I don't feel like very many people were able to answer the question. Now, I've shared with you all tons of times that my background is in human resources. When I was reading the responses yesterday, it really took me back to my early days in human resources when I first started to interview candidates. And the candidates, of course, were asked the question, why should I hire you? Which is also the name of my very first book. But one of the things that candidates would repeat to me over and over and over is that I'm hardworking, dependable, result oriented, I'm a team player, and I'm a fast learner. Okay, so what does that tell me? Because all of those things are really subjective. Now, you have to keep in mind that I have worked in the human resources area for 20 years. So you can only imagine the amount of candidates that I have had an opportunity to interview and the amount of candidates that have said those same things to me. Now, as an entrepreneur, what I consider to be hardworking and what you consider to be hardworking are two very different things. So what you have to be able to do, just like a job seeker, you have to be able to convince the buyer that your book is the best one in the stack. I wanted to kind of do this video for you and equate it to that of a job seeker, just to kind of get you to step out of your comfort zone and step out of your writer's zone for a moment, and let you know that in essence, it's kind of like job seeking all over again, because you're getting someone to you're trying to convince someone to invest in you. Just like when you are a job seeker, you want that employer to invest in you by hiring you. As an author, you're going to want people to invest in you by purchasing your book. So what I did, as I shared a little bit earlier, my very first book came out in 2004, and it was called Why Should I Hire You? And so what I did is I went through my library and I found the statement of purpose that I wrote for my very, very first book. And I want to share it with you guys. And then after you all have had an opportunity to hear this, I want to challenge the writing group to create, first of all, and then post your own statement of purpose. And here's why. Because it really tells the entire reason of why your book exists. People will say all the time, I have a story to tell. I want to tell about what happened to me, but so does everyone else. And so what you have to do is you have to make sure that when you're talking to a person, that this is not kind of the response that they're going to feel, okay, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all before. What you want when you're talking to someone and you're talking to them about your book, you want them to have the wow effect, okay? And so you've got to be able to differentiate yourself from the other author who writes in the same genre and whose story is very, very similar to you. It's just like that job seeker who, say for instance, I'm hiring an administrative assistant. Well, 9 times out of 10, all of the administrative assistants will tell me that they can file, fax, and copy. So how do I pick the best filer, the best copier, the best faxer, the best book? You guys get where I'm going with that, all right? So I just want to briefly read to you the statement of purpose that I actually wrote for my book back in 2004, and then I want to challenge you all to write one for yourself. And I want to tell you that this book came out in 2004, and it's 2011, and the book actually has been turned into a workbook. and it sells still in 2011. This book came out in 2004, and in 2011 the workbook is still selling. All right, so here is the statement of purpose, and I'm telling you this because I want you to see what my purpose was for the book, and then I'm going to share with you how I was able to walk into my purpose with this book. So here's my statement. Why Should I Hire You was written to share some of the principles and practices that influence hiring decisions. As a 16-year human resources professional, I was often amazed at how much time, energy, and money people would invest in things such as weight loss, marriage counseling, fashion, credit repair, and even get rich quick schemes. I was also amazed at how little, if any, of an investment people were willing to make into their careers, which was the way that they would be able to achieve the above areas. My career as a human resource professional has afforded me the opportunity to see firsthand the many downfalls and mistakes made by job seekers in the hiring process. So, I will use this book as a means to communicate with the many job seekers with whom I may never have an opportunity to come in contact with face to face. I will also use this book as a means of communication to establish myself as an expert in my industry with hopes to gain a new career path. Now, this was in 2004. It is now 2011. As a result of this book, I have gone on to become a radio host, a speaker, a of course, an author, and even recognized as a career expert in my field. So I've also gone on to create Career Magazine, and we're currently working on Career Magazine TV. So my point to you, my author friends, is create a statement of purpose. Know why you're writing your book. No one wants to hear your story just because it's your story. So what I'm saying to you is make sure that when people hear about your book or your products, that they're like, yeah. Okay, so I'm Stephanie C. Harper, and once again, I want to challenge you all to come up with your own statement of purpose, post it in the room. Let us, those of us who are among us, friends and family, let us help you critique it, even let us help you write it. We'd be more than happy to, but you've got to create it and you've got to post it. So I'm going to be looking forward to reading some of your statements of purpose for your book, and then we're going to come back and hopefully we can answer the question that was posed by ZLS Publishing. Why should someone buy your book? Talk to you soon. Bye now.